So when we're trying to trace the lateral edge and the medial edge of the foot, what we can start to do is we can start to think about it by moving in a direction of a counterclockwise direction or a clockwise direction. So what I mean by clockwise direction is we're moving into the medial edge of the foot first, then we're plantar flexing, we're drifting the knee laterally and then coming down the lateral edge. So we'll show you what that looks like. So kind of the same starting position. We'll start with both feet on the wall. We'll have kind of gently build pressure through the balls of the feet into the wall. We'll have them gently hover the heel and not too much of a hover through the heel. We almost want the heel gently kissing the wall, but not too far away from the wall. We'll have Conor imagine like he's pulling wallpaper off the wall, and with that he's going to get the leverage to slowly scoop that pelvis just slightly off the table so we can get a bit more load into the distal tissues. The right leg is going to be the target leg here, so he's going to bring that knee up to the chest, maintain that pelvis in a posterior tilt. What we're doing here now is we're going to then drift that knee medially, so we're going to adduct and internally rotate that femur. So when he does that, what we want to try and make sure is that he's maintaining that fifth metatarsal head, that lateral edge of the foot in contact with the wall. But he's going to feel a bit more load distributed through the medial edge of the foot. All right, so that foot is biasing over pronated position now. So when the foot's in more pronation, what we want him to do is maintain that adduction, internal rotation of the femur, and then we're going to have him slowly plantar flex, but maintain that position of the femur. So we're going to have kind of gently and slowly plantar flex that foot, putting a bit more force through the ball of the big toe. Yeah, keep coming. Up as high as he possibly can. And then when we're at the top, when we're in that forefoot, we're going to then maintain that plantar flexed ankle and then slowly drift that knee laterally. So we're tracing the transverse arch now. But when he drifts laterally, we want to make sure that we can maintain that ball of the big toe in contact with the wall now. And then when he's in this position, obviously the foot now is biased towards more of a supinated position. We're biasing the load through the lateral edge. We're going to then dorsiflex. So we're going to let that heel drift closer to the wall, but we're going to maintain that external rotation of the femur. So now we're tracing the lateral edge of the foot all the way back down to the heel. Okay, so now with that we're moving clockwise, but now we can begin the same process moving counterclockwise. So if Conor is up to it, we can slowly move counterclockwise. So we're going through the plantar flexion, maintaining that femur in an abducted position. And then from here, when we're in full plantar flexion, then we're going to drift that femur medially. Okay, slowly tracing the transverse arch, letting the pressure come into the ball of the big toe, and keeping that plantar flexion. And then we're going to trace the medial edge. So we're going to slowly let that heel drift towards the wall again as that femur maintains that adducted position. We can see here it's going to be very, very challenging for him to maintain that because the foot is in more of an adaptable position when it's moving towards pronation. Slowly drift. And then we're back to the medial portion of the heel, and then we can bring the knee back into a mid-range position. Okay, so what you can see there is that we're allowing the client to express plantar flexion. You can relax there, Conor. We're allowing the client to express more plantar flexion and dorsiflexion qualities while the foot biases more a pronated position or a supinated position. Okay, so it's a really nice one, especially in the early phases after an ankle sprain or after any kind of distal injury or disruption to the tissues. They get that conscious awareness into the distal tissues and manipulate the contractile intent of the muscles as the foot's biasing a different joint position. All right, so a really nice early stage to just get that load into the distal tissues, but be a bit more focused on how the joints are behaving, how the muscles are behaving, and it's a really nice